Welcome back. We are here to do the twin flame update. Yes, I haven't got the cards ready. How are we all doing? Did we really loathe that full moon in Capricorn? Was it fun? All that leveling up and having to be responsible. Was it fun? I didn't enjoy it. There was a bit of a purge. I think it was either side of the moon. There was a lot of fogginess and fatigue. And we are moving into shadow of Juno. Juno at the moment is going retrograde as of the 24th. We're having Aries and Chiron, the wounded healer, moving into retrograde by the 19th. So if you're all feeling up in that Venus girl, really fed up and a bit purgatory and triggered, it makes perfect sense. I do release twin flame updates weekly via the website. We do have the trial subscription that covers both the astrological aspects of your twin flame path as well as psychic and mirror work. So do go through and have a trial pack. No lock-ins, and it's cheaper than a reading. If you can't afford a reading, we do have sales on at the moment, which will be closing down as of Monday. So get on quick. It's for the month of July. Otherwise, they won't be till after August because I'm moving. Right. So are we all leveling up and trying to get things done? Are we feeling a little bit tense and fatigued? As of, for me, on the 15th, we have the moon transiting Aquarius. So, yes, it can feel moving from the 14th through that Capricorn energy. Still pretty much an eat, pray, repeat sort of energy. You're feeling pretty triggered. Some of you are going to gain communication with your twins. So those of you that have, if it's been a bit choppy, don't freak out. It's coming back again. It's one of those transits with Juno that it's coming in and out. I did do a webinar, and I may later in the month, closer to the time of it, I might open it up back on the website or open up on here. I haven't decided yet, so we'll see. We'll see. But yes, for those of you that do join the VIP editions to the webinars for those transits, you get to know firsthand, so you're prepared and you know what to do, which does help. So who of you have had communication with your counterpart? How has that been going for you? Has it been information lost in translation? For those of you that did get messages and they weren't to your liking, they are going to shift. Don't take it personal, you know, just step back. Just go, oh, that's really interesting. That's interesting you think about that way. But the projection is the reflection, you know. So if triggers are coming up, it's because Aries and Chiron's going retrograde. I have one more star sign to do for mid-month, and I'm doing an update on the website. And then I'm on to today, the twin flames for the last week of the month. For those of you that do follow me with your twin flame path, you will get your updates for the feminine, masculine, they stagger. So what I've done is actually stagger them in opening from Saturday night, Western Australia time. So it'll be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and you get them. Otherwise, you can jump in the members hub and get them ahead of time, a week ahead. So members, you guys will be getting the updates for the last edition of the month. More than likely I'll go live in there and we'll do that because I'm cramming, you know, YILDIZ is cramming. And I'll also be opening up the star signs by the website shortly. Big changes happening everywhere. So feel free to say how you're feeling, you know, what's been coming up. We can do the super chats at the end, as Giggle mentioned. Thank you, Giggle. I appreciate the help. Let's see what the ruin cast is for the connection. Big changes happening. Number one is because Jupiter, which is linked to divine masculine's astrology, and Aries is the energy of divine masculine. So we've got Aries and Chiron linking to the hero's journey. We had the full moon in Capricorn, which is very Pluto in nature. And really, by 2023, Pluto is moving out of the sign of Capricorn. So this is pretty big. Anytime anything happens in Capricorn, you know, especially for America, you guys are having a Pluto return. It's a transformation, and it's big and it's yucky and it's quite purgatory. But it's all happening for a deeper reason, and that is going to, ease up. A lot of us from an emotional, be it it's Venus, be it it's money, there's all this transformation happening. And it was funny because at the beginning of the year, we did have Venus retrograding in Capricorn. And on this occasion, so it almost is like a double whammy with Venus, because, hi Diva, I was thinking about you yesterday. Because Juno is linked to Venus, Juno is a little bit like a supermoon, except it's the feelings and emotions, and it's a little bit of a karmic test when it links to a relationship sector or a contract sector. So for you inside your twin flame path, it won't matter if you're single, couple, or in a connection, it's going to affect you. And it can feel that we are, and both parties will be affected, obviously, for normal reasons. And it's a 13-week cycle. So this is the kickoff this month of that, on top of the fact that Capricorn moon might have made us feel emotional, because if any connection, if any partner really in the twin flame path went into a karmic connection, I would say from the time frame of November, December last year into January, February this year, it's going under the microscope, okay? It's going to have a good darn on it look at. And if there are really issues coming up in a karmic connection, this path will be very difficult. And I did predict that karmics, especially those that are deeply codependent for some unknown reason or not, may need to return to work or shift house. Prediction. I can't wait to get the little, I'm going to get some little images going across the page at some point, little emojis. So when we say certain words, they can pop up, and we can add a bit of entertainment and therapy into this session. Okay, so we have the ruin cast. Both parties in the mix within the twin flame connection, yin and yang. Please do listen to this from the point of view of masculine and feminine, and then to deal with the mirror attribute of things. Always look at it as, okay, how in my own working life, masculine polarities, does this directly link to me? Is it balanced? Is it harmonized? And in the feminine, which is more the intuitive, the emotion, how does that link to? So try and do it those ways as well as within the connection, okay? And this reading is collective energy linking to the path, not just if you're single or couple. I don't do my readings that way. So this is your ruin cast, and it's fire. And yes, the sacral chakra is very active due to the moon in Capricorn. So it's sexual energy. It can be anger, aggression. It can be, feeling like you've got somewhere to go, but you don't have that. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Penny little, the sky's falling down. So it can feel quite agitated. And depending on your star sign, how this twin flame cycle at the moment is going to be deeply impacting you, you'll more than likely need to look at your star signs at the minute to get that ascension support, which is what I do offer on the website. Okay, so this connects to Mars. It's fire and nature. Currently, we have transits happening. Now, it is to do with nothing is for nothing. The healthy give and take, boundaries, nothing is for nothing. It is almost the Chariot, okay? So it is the Chariot, something's moving. The shadow sign of Capricorn is Cancer, which is the Chariot. So we do have physical movement happening, but it'll be quite subliminal sometimes in the way it happens. For some of you, you may find that you do end up getting a lot of information coming to you at this time that can be psychic in nature. Yes, I could say as we move closer to the 24th, psychic attacks may be possible. It could hit a lull at the moment. The dream state in the astro travel is going to be pretty active. And some of you potentially in the last 2 weeks might have felt a little bit nauseated, and that could be because of the ascension going up and down and the detox that is being called upon with these transits this month. So it's almost like, we're needing to purge something, we're needing to rid something. And looking after your wellness is going to be absolute critical during Chiron and Aries retrograde, especially for those of you that are Virgo and Gemini at this point, because Chiron relates to higher heart chakra and Mercury. Okay, so gifts, opportunities, partnerships, love match, sacrifice, obligations. Esoteric is karmic union, and divine revelation. So it is a positive ruin cast, but it warns us against taking these situations for granted. And unfortunately, during Aries and Chiron, we're going to feel triggered. We're going to be having vibrations of this push-pull. 1 minute you'll want them, 1 minute you won't. And one large revelation I had, which I absolutely laughed my butt off, is because in my twin flame path, we had, upon the separation and connection and studying astrology, the one thing I did do a lot of research was me being a guinea pig. So looking at my life cycle of the 25 years of my twin flame connection in and out, as well as how it impacted any connection I'd had during that time. And by really correlating the timeframes between Juno retrograde and Juno direct, I had massive changes in connections. So especially being that I do have Scorpio on my chart, it's my North Node. Yes, I had plenty of endings. So this can mark a point for you guys, because we did have back in 2000 and I believe it was 1718, which is Chiron was in the house of Pisces. Juno now is there in this twin flame situation. And a lot of subjects to do with codependency, habits, spirituality, values, beliefs, you know, the healthy give and take, you know, all of those, the dream, Neptune, can be psychedelics. They all can be coming up in the mix for these questions. A lot of you will go through what I went through, which is, because it's the 9th house, is this real? It's just a fad. Maybe I'm not a twin, you know, so that can come up in the mix as well, which is perfectly normal on your twin flame path. And it does come to a point where in your healing, you do humanize things, and because Neptune is about reality and fantasy. Pisces is also, so potentially you could be looking really realistically at things and being pretty done on it strict. Just try to not go to extremes. Because the projection's the reflection, and that's the inner work that we end up doing to be able to stabilize through the circumstance. And no other person is a solution. So another thing that comes up is we have this longing from a heart-centered energy, especially because we're moving into the moon in Leo. It's almost like the Lionsgate portal is sort of coming through earlier, so to speak. It's quite interesting that way. What I feel many of you could potentially feel is, okay, you know, very strict with your healing, very strict with, gosh, why haven't I got my life together? Why haven't I moved my life forward? Maybe I should just hit the road, Jack, and find somebody else. And another person actually isn't a solution. You know, the soul to a degree has a spiritual connection with an individual. And when we say it's not about them, it doesn't mean to say that you're going to forget. Do you get what I'm saying? So just be really kind to yourself. Obviously, doors will open for you if that is something that universe is bringing for you and it's what's destined. So try and trust that process, but not necessarily during Juno retrograde. Is it a good time to start a new relationship? Generally speaking, what does work best is reworking and focusing during that 13-week cycle on previous connections or current connections. So new ones don't tend to vote as well. I thought it was very interesting, which I'm going to dig a little bit deeper, because I believe Jessica Melboy married so close in the shadow of Juno retrograde. And from experience with Venus retrogrades, generally astrologers that do study those aspects is if you do get into a connection during a Venus retrograde, it has a 90% chance of survival. No, it has a 10% chance of survival. Like 90% of those, if they got married or connected, it would actually end. So it'll be interesting to see how this Juno retrograde goes. And yes, a lot of karmic breakups will be occurring. So, oh God, okay. So crowning energy is the nodes, North Node and Taurus. We are having conjunctions at the moment. I do feel there's something shaking up within this connection. It's causing a lot of stresses. There's a lot shifting within the masculine attribute of our lives and within this joint connection. What I am seeing is both masculine and feminine are feeling disempowered. There could be an emotion that divine masculine is feeling that they're really trying to darn on it, deal with things. The hard aspects for them has been because Jupiter has shifted between Pisces and Aries. So we are set to have movement happening. And funny enough, we're going to have blessing from the past come back. But at the moment, this crown activation all the way with this 12th house is almost like this awakening, and I feel divine masculine, this feeling almost that they're urged to, you know, they're calling for you, so to speak, and they're feeling this urgency. And also feel it's coming through with both twins. Some twins can be feeling as though you just keep away from me, just leave me alone. I feel like I'm breaking. Other twins are going to psychologically feel that it's a very spiritual connection that can be coming through on the astro travel. But I do feel from a spiritual point of view, there's something merging in the middle, and you do tend to find through your twin flame path, it's almost you become very fatigued. So twins do tend to come back into the hemisphere of each other to recharge, and then could shift away for 2.5, but then to come back again. But it's usually you become more in alignment of where each other are, because there's been that growth spiritually. It's not to say when you go back into it, you're 100% perfect, and it doesn't actually require that, but you're more open to. It's a little bit like an umbilical cord will be stuck on your back, and you'll find you'd love to run, but you just can't. And you also know running's futile because your wounds travel with you. So you just get to a point psychologically, the metaphorical tarot doesn't work anymore because you really want a solution. You're like, I just don't want these ascension symptoms anymore. And if I have to dig in and heal, which is a lot of script of what it talks about in Twin Flame Path, done on how do I do that? Where do I get those resources? So I've tried to develop those through my own personal experience of my twin flame path, as well as being a psychic medium and soul coach. So they're there for you if you need them. Otherwise, you know, there's lots of readings out there. So there's something to do with healing coming up. And for a lot of you, there can be things to do with betrayals and, you know, cheating and things like that can be spiritually coming up. The funny energy is that it is going to the past. So it's almost like some of these things have come up for us in our twin flame path to show us that that's not for us, that, you know, it's almost like sometimes I felt I manifested all my fair-based frequencies. And then after that, while you actually have all those horrible things kind of happen to you, it's like they don't find you anymore because they can't happen. So it's like you're almost looking for, well, what could I be scared of? Everything terrible that has happened has happened. So I feel spiritually, this is something that is moving to the past. And some of you, yes, you could be feeling because that has happened, maybe you have to move forward. But I think the reality is anyone can hurt us. And so from a heart-centered energy, I do feel the heart chakra is going to really be amping up at the moment. I'll pull a clarify with the chakra, but heart chakra relating to the moon and Leo will be coming up, and base chakra. So there's almost this chemistry ridden energy that's going to be vibing up in you, and then you're going to maybe want to run for the hills. So just don't freak out. Perfectly normal. But there could be this slow and steady wins the race motto, but also the frequency of time where things are taking so long, that is also going to cause some agitation between the twin flame connection. Yeah, it's like unmotivated. You know, unmotivated by it, not the energy, quite purgatory due to the Capricorn moon. Yeah, you run down. You've got to clear all the toxins. It's a good time really to actually clear your energy and to do a detox. Try and use citron, but also you can use for any of the psychic energies, any energy that comes in for you in a sense of you feeling your counterpart at the moment. To break that cycle of runner chaser, you almost need to tune out and be present and acknowledge the trigger that is coming in from that person. Breathe in, breathe out, and trust the process that that person will move. But any attachment kind of through the ethers kind of stagnates it. There's a change in direction here, and I do feel there's an offer of a partnership. We do have a sudden change, and it looks like it's happening very quickly. There is something to do with these burdens that are happening. And I do feel Divine Feminine's kind of getting to a point she's quite run down. I do feel some of those things are because the circumstances happening in her life that is quite heavy in a frequency. Does Divine Feminine's menstrual cycle affect the Divine Masculine? I feel from a spiritual point of view, it's more, how would I put it? The sacral chakra energy point blank at the moment is affected. Let me put it that way, because Capricorn does relate to the lower energies. So our cycles at the moment are going to be heavy. From an emotional point of view, they're new cycles regardless. So there is something here in the mix that is quite heavy, and I feel it's happening on both sides. And I also feel You know, it's almost like the projection is because both parties are frustrated with something individually in their own life, but also jointly to the connection. I also feel interferences of such. A lot of people aren't wanting to deal with these situations in the mix at this point in time, and I do feel it does feel quite a burden at this point. I know. Yeah. And again, you know, these are things really spiritually we do get cropping up in our life, which I'll answer your questions at the end of it. We'll continue the channeling, otherwise I'll go off course. Okay, so there is a judgment here in the mix, and there's some, you know, it's almost like when push comes to shove, we feel that we're getting quite bogged down with things, we feel we can't handle them. I do feel at the moment part of the blockage is due to the fact that we have Venus by the 18th moving into the house of Cancer, and we're picking up some of that shadow. And I feel with it, it's almost the conditioning that we're going through with all these transits in Cancer that we had is the conditioning. So a lot of times, you know, divine masculine, for instance, will know a circumstance as a burden, but what society's standards are, and from their childhood, they're kind of looking at it through expectation eyes. Do you get what I'm saying? So they know and acknowledge that it's crap, but at the same time, they're looking at it like, I'm going to be judged. So what do I do with this? And I feel this acceptance is usually, it's got to kind of break your back before you can go, well, even if I wanted to do this, I can't do this. I need to change something. I do feel on both sides of the fence, there is this transformation happening with divine masculine at the moment, that they are touching into their own inner emotions of their personal needs, which is about time. It's I do get tired, I do get unwell, I do have needs, I do have feelings, and I can't be everything to everyone. And I think that's so very important as a human being that we acknowledge. And I feel this is sometimes how it comes through, is something's got to break us down to build us up, is to actually physically let go of that circumstance. If you did find this grudge energy between both parties here in the mix was playing out, we do reach the 7 stages of healing. There are possibilities at a time in your twin flame journey you will get very angry, and it can be a sign of a sort of feeling like a revolt. It does calm down, and then you get that unconditional, but it's a little bit like you psychologically are acknowledging how you feel so that you can move into alignment of what you need, so the ethers can give you what that thing is. I feel, especially if there is a third party situation, it's almost like a line in the sand's being drawn. This can be a conversation piece or a demeanor that divine feminine is taking, where they're saying, look, I'm ready for a partnership, but definitely not one with a third party energy. And if this is the way the status quo is going to be, you need to go and sort X, Y, and Z. And I feel in the mix of it, this is what you sort of feel, hey, you've waited, you've been patient, you've invested. So a partnership as per se would be something that you're more attracted to. Some of you could be very scared that if you were to take that stand, that maybe a judgment poorly would go in your favor. But you have to ask yourself the question, you know, what exactly, you know, sometimes this is the burden. It's, oh my gosh, what if I lose it? But you can't lose something that's truly yours, Stels. This is what you've got to understand. It actually frees the person to, without pressure, deal with these things that are already causing pressure, so that they can come to you quite freely and know that you're that person that has standards, and that person that is, yes, loving, and that soft place to land, but also not one to kind of play with. And I don't think this is intentional. I really do not feel this is intentional. It feels more conditioned, right? But I think this is breaking. And I think a circumstance, what divine feminine isn't aware of, is there is a circumstance over here with divine masculine that's already ready to break. Okay, a judgment is here on hand, and this can come up. And it was funny because with a couple of clients this week, it did come up relating to the moon. And I do feel during this moon cycle, it's actually where it's starting to pop off. As we move to the Leo moon, I do feel for a lot of you, you actually could get communication and movement. This can be a choice where you're spiritually feeling, hey, do I free myself? Now, I'm going to let you, no, I won't. Left as masculines, I'm feeling. Let's pull a clarify. I want an animal totem. I want to know what's up with this. We've got the karmic here. You can listen to this read vice versa if you choose to, but I am choosing the left for divine masculine. I remember that song, to the left, to the left. Yes, I sung that like half. That was one of my breakups. Yep. I could literally make a record of breakups and makeups with my oh, God. Pisces, yes. Juno and Pisces retrograding over the 12th house, which means they're looking at their psychology. They're looking at how these connections, times out of 10, the people they attract might look great on paper, but the direct connection is a very separate thing. All of us have looked at that white picket fence and gone, this is what I think a relationship looks like. And it is the traditional attributes of it. But the further into the journey, you realize when you've been there, done that, depending on what age you are in this twin flame connection, your needs inside of that cycle, because it is very circular. We have the cycle card here. The needs change. So the things that you thought maybe a connection was versus what a direct connection is polar opposite. And I especially feel from this 10 of Wands happening here, which I do feel it's your emotions you're feeling from an empath point of view, but it's also how divine masculine is directly feeling in his way where he can give to you, where he can cope with situations. These emotions, it could be that they're drinking quite a bit at the moment and they're, not talking or discussing things as much and coming through a little bit choppy. It is going to settle down, but we may need to be aware that the adjustment of Aries and Chiron for them is going to be pretty big, probably worse than us, even though we as divine feminines are so fatigued and really overwhelmed, similar to this. Thank God we have the tools, right? Now, I feel from a spiritual point of view, this is almost looking at the reality. It's like the rose-colored glasses have come off. The karmic is being really exposed for what the situation is. This is almost like that bitter pill to swallow when you're looking at it. And I was like, this is so not what it was cut out to be. Nothing this person equaled. It's almost like waking up and looking at a person. It's got this like Shrek, right? Apart from it wasn't a romantic story in this notion. Totally love Shrek, but in this notion, it's kind of the polar opposite. It's waking up and turning over and going, good grief, what exactly is this, I've dealt with? How on earth did I cope with this? And I feel, this person, and this is the problem, generally, honey to the bee kind of energy, empath energies, and people that tend to try to avoid a circumstance can unnaturally attract a whole lot of crap. Okay, so it's like, okay, that avoidance of relationships, I really don't want a connection. You then attract someone who poker faces that, and then before you know it, kind of stuck in a prison. And that is with a person that maybe isn't so great. It's maybe the empath, the trauma bonding. And then before you know it, two trauma bonding people, they're kind of hanging out together and they're kind of knuckled in and they've maybe got debts together and all the rest of it. And you wake up in the morning and you go, if I just dealt with that circumstance, I wouldn't be in the position I was in the first place. Now, this can play out not only associated with a partner, it might be a workplace situation. It could be a tribe or a family. Whatever is happening at the moment, it is helping them heal, but it's sort of like this can even be for those that are single, that they're reflecting back to the past. And I do think, especially because Juno is going retrograde, Neptune's gone retrograde, that shadow work of psychology is really popping up, and it's not a pretty sight to view. It's sort of like you're quite perplexed. You're thinking, gee, how in heck did I get here? They really thought that once they walked down that path, and this is the conditioning, right? It's like, I made my bed, I need to lie in it. But that's really not how they're feeling right now. They directly met in a very odd way, or there's anger associated to that circumstance. I do think, I do feel these individuals here, especially if this is a karmic relationship, have broken up several times. It's almost like there's this vengeful kind of attitude coming through. Sort of like they were saying to themselves, hey, I deserve this. I made my bed. I'll lie in it. But I do get that this person is kind of this way to them. And that's why this trust when it comes to other people, it could be the threat of losing money. It might be the threat of losing children. Whatever that is in the mix, it sort of feels very, spiteful. It's not very consistent. It's very temperamental. So this person could be quite a temperamental energy. But again, you know, they're playing nice, but this, for many, I don't think this is where the individual maybe just is like, you know what, you can have your money. I'm so done with it. They are overdue for their happiness. Some, like I said, can be drinking and avoiding and meditating upon this. It's so funny because this same card came up and they don't want to wait till next month. They don't want to live like this another second. This is driving them a little bit batty. And I did have a psychic download last month. I think it was coming over 3 months, wasn't it, Giggle? I kept saying Christmas in July, and we've got the bloody Christmas in July energy coming up again. My cards give me kind of channeled messages. Now, this may be because they're kind of getting to a point where they don't want to keep this pattern going. They're really quite fed up. I feel it's almost like walking that tightrope and getting to a place where you directly have to make a decision. Is it left or is it right? And I feel this is the crunch time. Again, traditions and lineage, it could be someone dealing with maybe a relative that's unwell. I also feel there is something to do with money that's entangled. And again, conditioning. There's some, but it's not working. In the heart of it, yes, they're honouring the fact that they are. Yeah, 2 to 3 months is quite strange. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. Yeah, someone who was unwell. But there is a lot of, it's almost like I do feel for those that do have a parent that had already, and this feels more an older energy than currently something that's playing out. There definitely is some that are currently dealing with, you know, ancestors and people passing. We had a good chat about that the other day with a lot of feminines that I knew in my life that are older, and a lot of people passing. So it sort of is like a portal with that Pisces frequency. But ultimately, I feel it's almost from a psychic point of view, I do feel divine masculine is becoming deeply intuitive, deeply logical. They're mapping and planning these things. And I also feel through the ethers, it's almost like a parent that did pass away a long time ago or a tribe member. They're actually guiding them at the moment and protecting them through this process. They're on it. There you go. Got the psychic card. They're on it. They know what to do. They're dealing with this conflict. At a foundation, there is conflict. They acknowledge that. But it's not, how it's coming through is it's not conflict with you, Divine Feminine. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a conflicting situation that is blocking their path. This is something that, yeah, it's blocking their path. So you may be looking at it like they're acting non-masculine, but they're acting tactical right now. And you need to understand, due to the fact they're thinking on this, but they've got to play their cards correctly. This person isn't right who they're dealing with, okay? So they have to, it's a little bit like an, how do I explain it? If you knew somebody was aggressive, how would you deal with that situation tactically? Right? Their commitment is being tested. But the funny thing is that it's almost like they're looking to the past and they're like, that was the wrong exit to take. I should have taken, you know, the right, not the left. Or why have I done that? Yeah, it just turned sour. Now, Divine Feminine at the moment, you guys could really be feeling this feeling of wanting to be home, of wanting, you know, some of you could really be feeling a little bit like a rat in a cage. You're looking at the help you had in your life. You're incredibly grateful for the things you had, but you're also looking at your dreams of traditions. You know, was it that you wanted to be in a connection? Was it that you wanted to be a mother? Was it that you wanted to have this marriage of spiritual connection, which ironically enough, when we do look in layman's terms as marriages, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's kind of like, even though you're not with them, it is a bloody marriage, you know, because it's like you do go through these processes, and even when you do have conflict and fights, you end up talking again. So this is a spiritual marriage here. Sometimes you can get to a space you think they're never going to talk to you, bang, they'll show up, because you've psychologically gone through the 7 stages of healing and you've let it go. So on this occasion, if that's where you're at, it's quite a positive thing. Okay, so yes, these shadow kind of feelings of conditioning and what you want out of a relationship, some of you might have been reviewing that. Some of you might even be thinking, gee, I didn't think I had work to do anymore. I thought it was kind of sort of, why is this crap coming up again? And that more than likely because Aries and Chiron is going retrograde. You're very fed up with the stagnation. Some of you might have had, and this is probably more the type of in the dark tarot we should be doing for some of these messages that are coming through, because they are a little bit cheeky and dirty. So I probably won't go there. It's like something's taken too long, okay? It's like, are we there yet? No. You're fed up of it, but you're wanting to leave that behind you. So it's almost like some of you could be trying to get into high vibe. You know, in your heart, you do have this love. You know, even the smallest offer and gradual steps forward would be adequate for you, but not this left, right. You know, you're not done with this. I do feel what you're hoping to see is the old energy of how your counterpart used to be, which is maybe gentle and loving and open to communicate. They might be at the moment a little bit reserved. They may not be communicating, but I don't think that's for long. Okay. Yeah, a lot of you are very tired. Look, I don't know why I'm getting... I do feel you're going to come back into balance. I do feel you're kind of wondering to yourself, is there something I mainly can do? But the problem is, you know, this is one of the biggest things that we need to stomach sometimes is, yes, the communication style inside it always mirror. So if there's a message coming through, you want to get them up and out of message. And so you need to make that a welcoming experience so you can get into the conversation, then you can gauge where they're at. The other thing is, I feel in your mind, you're kind of like, okay, any triggers that are coming up, it's almost that you're trying to address them so you don't have to go down that rabbit hole again because you're fed up. So you could be trying to keep yourself super busy to remove that as a problem. The other thing I can see is you may find that suddenly a lot of people are attracted to you, and this can feel very confusing. 9 times out of 10, just as you have all the honey to the bee situations coming in, your counterpart comes in too. But the key to it is realizing anybody can hurt you. That is a soulmate. That is a twin flame. That doesn't mean to say I'm an advocate of your twin flame. I'm just telling you from my personal experience. They come in twos, okay? So healing is the key in this notion. Let's dig a little bit deeper and see how this is going to play out. I do feel there's an offer here, but it's almost the self-love. I don't know. Yeah, I feel self-love. But this could be a little bit because of Black Moon Lilith. It's like, do I need to woo you? Do I need to use my magician energy on this? Star Wars, there's nothing wrong with you. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. They're driving you batty, okay? But there is, from an emotional point of view, a lot of you are actually picking up on their feelings of how they do long for you at the moment. So it's almost like this mourning, this feeling that they're really missing you. Oh, well, that's good to see. But there's ultimatum energy all over this. And remember, Juno's retrograde for 13 weeks. Everything's going to change. There's, okay, healing from a third eye point of view. Some of you could be looking at this twin flame connection right now with I'm just reading the cards, okay? No compassion. You made your bed, line it. Why is that coming up? Because divine feminines theoretically are Juno and Jupiter is retrograding, which means masculines will be assessing their roles of what they had inside of relationships. And we can already see that by the crowding energy of karmic. And divine feminines will also be, you know, reviewing counterpart energies, animal connections, money, values, how we look, how we feel about our bodies. So are we being hard on ourselves? Yes, do the mirror work. How you can do it is all the crap you feel about your twin right now, jot that down and get it out, baby, and strike a pose down the middle, and then take a minute, you know, go and have a break and go, right, I got all that out, and then come back to it and go, how does that apply to my side of my life? I cried so many times and laughed when I did that. So the heart chakra can be, it's like you're looking at twin and going, haven't you let something go? Haven't you finished this? How long does this take? Sometimes it can be because we've had a similar circumstance and we knew how long it took us, so we're freaking out thinking the same is going to happen. The other can be the feeling of not being chosen, or again, because Cancer's there, right? Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, it's like inner child. Am I attractive enough? Am I beautiful enough? Why did that happen? Why are other people chosen over me? It's going, the higher heart chakra is Mercury. So our heads are overactive with crap. We've got to dump the junk in the trunk, right? So clearing it keep your fluid up. Eat some blue food groups. If it's coming in, ask yourself the question, because many times in my path, what I was thinking was a channeling. I'll repeat it again. What I was thinking was a channeling. Now, whom are you tuning into? Is it the karmic? Is it divine masculine? Is it nobody you were thinking about and it came in? Did a name pop into mind? Because this frequency can be the prejudice of that person's beliefs and the critique and the healing they are directly going through. So your circle of concern and your aura needs upgrading, and you need to protect yourself with what you let in. And could you be around a toxic person? Yes, you can be, and you still can control it. A lot of times what twins don't understand is you're developing your psychic mediumship. And so as an empath, you will attract things like a magnet, and you need to learn to flush it. So at the moment, get your fluid up, use tourmaline, use obstinine, do a home clearing, use a gin removal. And by the time we get to the end of the month, no pacifiers, because those can become long-term problems in the mix of it. If you want to do anything, do something positive, and you're going to manifest that in the long term. You know, open that heart chakra, generate those good things in, and move into this magician energy, so you are attracting things. And if another person was toxic and they come towards you, you're able to judge it more effectively, and you can look at it and observe it and say, wow, that's really interesting. But this is my life. My life is in abundance, and I fill my cup. I need none. I have everything I need inside of me, and I can observe something toxic, but I don't need to dance with the devil. So here we are moving back in the heart of it, both masculine and feminine moving back into their path. And now how we get there, if you are tuning into how your masculine will get from point A to point B, or you as well, ask your guides to help you, but also let go. Let go. Walking in truth and, you know, feeling secure in these things can feel scary, but by letting go, you allow it to come to you. That you are limitless, but you're looking at it from a tunnel point of view, because it's purgatory at the moment. So I would say, in the heart of it, this is all part of the journey, right? But at the moment, you're being very strict on the connection, which is almost like both of you are wanting to communicate with each other effectively, but it's almost like you're trying to keep away from each other because you're scared what you're going to say. Do I feel communication is coming in? Yes, but I do feel you need to lower the bridge. The bridge can be opening the gap to the frequency. I do feel a tower moment is going down with divine masculine in the karmic cycle. And I also feel once they pick up that signal directly from you, more than likely they're walking in that door. Any questions? Now, what signs and synchronicities was I getting this week? I did have a few, and I was like, oh, heck. I just thought it was really interesting that we have this is acting like a double Venus retrograde. Like, shit. You know, Juno going retrograde. From the 24th, big karmic tests, big tower moments, big breakups happening. You could be feeling, gosh, you know, I'm going down my merry way, and then bang, you know, you're going to hear from your twin. Super chat, thanks, Giggle. Super chats are open for anyone that wishes to. Otherwise, I do have a special on the website at the moment for telephone and Skype readings. And if you can't afford that, we do have the trial edition of the duo packs. So what the duo packs are is they are weekly updates for your twin flame. So it's masculine, feminine, karmic. They're reads. And if you get the duo pack, you get the trial for the month. You also get your star signs, and you get 2 a month. Okay? Otherwise, I'll see you each Friday. Here we go. There can be some delay because I am using StreamYards. It won't be too long, but I'll get these ready. Feel free to chat and I can read some of your statements. Yeah, the emotions from the 12th house can be challenging. Aquarius, I would say for you, be very, very cautious at the moment because you did have a lot, you know, happening all up in your grill in the 12th house. Libra, yeah, emotional at the moment for you guys. Virgo and Gemini, be super careful. Don't be losing it. Can you check an update over there? Things were good, then dropped off. Yeah, I'm not surprised during the Capricorn moon. It was almost like, you know, I have no issue against Capricorn. It's in Pluto's there at the moment. It's very Saturnian, which can be grandparents. So funny, communication is the key. This is what you're thinking at the moment. You're thinking, Angela, that you're sort of like, what's the hold up? Why does it go hot and cold? Why is there no communication here? Yeah, has something happened? It's made you concerned. You won't look again. You can reach out. Don't feel you're intruding. Act like you're in the direct connection. This is the statement that was made in your twin flame path. You can reach out and message. It's kind of a hard one because ultimately you will know where this stands. Do you get what I'm saying? It's one of those moments where you're going to have your good days and you're going to have your bad days with the situation due to the circumstances. But I feel, you know, from an emotional point of view, this is actually making you feel emotionally like it's too hard. So she was going too far. Oh, well, that's what's going on. Something big, right? You can touch base though. It's your call, but it's saying almost that it's almost like your intuition needs to guide you at the moment. You're a little bit nervous and apprehensive. Something's changed. That's what they're saying. Something has changed at a foundation level. It's so quiet. I don't know why, Ange, but it feels really quiet. Yeah, there's something big going on over there. I feel something's gone down. Honestly, I feel something's gone down. I don't think this is negative, like, you know, anything. How do I put it? The usual of what you would expect under the circumstances. I'm speaking in code, Angela, okay? So that I do feel might be health related because we have Gemini here, Mercury. There is something in the mix, but it's really quiet. It feels really quiet. It feels a little bit airy. It's like an after storm, after effect. It could be that they're negotiating something. They're working plans out. They're working dates and plans out. But it feels information has come to them that maybe isn't so good or a situation has played out. I hope that helps. But yeah, if I was you, I'd just chuck a text. I don't know. It's feeling funky. That's about the best way I can describe it. Cold and funky. Do we have Dawn next, do we? I didn't know I could do this till the other day. I like it. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dawn. It's your turn, honey. I always like when Dawn's in the house. She's my karaoke queen. Her guides talk to me with music. I think it was about 10, 15 minutes ago. I felt your energy heavily. Update on the connection. How's your business? That's okay, sweet. Dawn, you're bossing up. Are you feeling a little bit nervous, Dawn? You know, because your energy is like, you're going to have a lot going on, girl. I'm just telling you, you're going to have a lot going on. I would say towards the end of the month, go easy on yourself for mood. But, I mean, you even be careful with your friendship groups too, all right? Have faith in yourself because you have a lot of great things coming your way, but you could end up second-guessing yourself, right? You're coming through very centered. Now, does it mean that you're not having a hard time? No, of course not, right? You're like trying to move things about. You're trying to shuffle it. The slow will not be slow for long. As we're moving further into this month, you're going to feel like you're ripping your hair out. You wish it was slow, okay? So it's almost like you're conflicted in your mind relating to love, right? You're having critical thoughts. You're having illogical thoughts, and you're like, I need to directly make a decision. You're having your good and your bad days, but you are more stern. look, I'm telling you, people are going to find you really super attractive at the moment, even if you're not feeling so fly. I don't know why I get this vibe that there could be this courage that amps up out of nowhere, and you may actually say something. You may actually say something, and you know, I get this Dutch courage, and it was funny because when I was doing a reading like earlier today, I briefly looked at the star sign of Gemini. I went, ooh, they're going to do something. And Dawn, with you, I do feel you actually could get an element of, you know, Dutch courage. That's okay, Lady Rain. Yeah, Dutch courage, and it's like you might say something, just loose lip sync shifts, but I think you're throwing caution to the wind. And I don't think it's coming through negatively. I think it'll come through quite sassy and funny. But you could actually just come out and say something. You might have less filter. I'm just saying, Dawn. Yep. I'm definitely seeing it. You're like, look, it's like you're raising your vibration. I know what I want, right? And this is where I am, and you're just saying it how it is. Oh my God, Dawn, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Dawn? Have you had this urgency? Like at the moment, it's not here. This is coming, so you're pre-warned. I don't think necessarily will it go down bad, because I already feel this person has feelings for you, but I just think it's really funny because the observation of it is, and I don't know why sometimes divine masculines actually find when we finally do let go, they think it's really cute. I don't know how cute I look, you know, when I get that way, but each to their own. But yeah, he thinks I do, and I'm like, no, that's not hot. My daughter even thinks it's cute. But yeah, I see you actually getting to a point. This is with your twin. You're just going to tell them what you think, and it's just going to be in no uncertain terms. You know, I mean, when I say you're going to say everything, you are not going to hold back. That's the concern. Everything you've ever thought, you're going to be saying it. Yeah, you are. Just for God's sakes, be careful. It will be funny. Can you please hold a camera in your house? I really want to see. So your guides are telling me loose lip sync ships, and you're willing to sink a ship. You're like, I'm going to sink your ship. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. But it's don't know why it's going in your favor. It's quite funny. That's about all I can say. But it is funny. No, this is definitely your twin. Your twin doesn't think you're cute because he wants you to behave, okay? You're safer behind closed doors. Nobody can see you. Of course he thinks you're cute. You should be a good girl, Dawn. I hope that helps, Dawn. Thank you for the constant entertainment. It's always an absolute pleasure. Research clue. How you doing? What is coming for you? Hopefully good things, Zach. Let's see what's up. How you been? How have you been? I can't wait to get the stream back, and then you won't hear me clicking. I hope business is going well, Dawn. Are you plodding along with it? Thanks, Giggle. You don't have to be good all the time, Dawn. You know, sometimes we need to embrace some of the divine masculine's energy and let our hair down a bit and find some element of fun. Hi, Dal. Okay. Oh. Research clue. Why do I feel that you're wanting, you do feel good, but you feel apprehensive, okay? I think this apprehension could be to do with the project. But I think something's flowing for you. So some gates open, some doors opened. You know that moment when you're you know that things are going to be okay. But at the same time, there's almost like you've maybe worked really hard, you've done a lot of things, and then suddenly you feel as though it's like, you know, once something's kind of closed, it's like maybe completing a task is sort of like, is it going to be okay? It's a little bit like each time I complete a task on my website, it's like, oh God, there's another mountain waiting. This could be to do with business. Maybe it's something to do with business. Your love energy feels good, doll. Like portals open, like the gate. I'm being shown a gate. They're also showing me a garden. Are you connected? Because I literally feel a connection and a wedding. I feel a wedding, like a connection, but it's in a garden. There's this garden gate opening. The garden and the gate could be a message for you. But I literally feel there's something spiritual. There is a gate opening, a door opening for you. It's there. Like what I'm seeing is a gate's opening. You could freak out when that opportunity comes because the way you're viewing it is, do I dare to go in? Because it's a dark garden. It's almost you know it's going to be beautiful in your life moving forward, but you're fearing what that garden's going to be like what is that garden going to be like, because it feels dark. There's a bit of shadow energy there. Do a bit of an aura clearing. I feel somebody's got the toots on you. Somebody's a little bit jealous of you. They're not so nice, like they stalk you. There's a bit of stalker energy around you, because you actually are very protected, love. But when your aura is down, yeah, for psychic energy, right? You have to protect your aura. You've done a lot of hard work on yourself, and even the blessings in your love life, it's right at the door, but you've got to be careful, right? Because what's going to happen is somebody who's seen what you do, or somebody who knows who you are, they've got envy for you. And so you need to actually clear your aura, because the portal's right there, the door's right there. And so it's like, if you have any dream state, that darkness, they're trying to plant this seed of intent in you to sabotage you. But what you need to do is move beyond the wound and protect your aura, because what I'm seeing is that gate is meant for you. It's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. Does that make sense? Just tune into that person and breathe in and breathe out and say, I release you off this karmic cord. Do a karmic cord cutting. I release you of this karmic cord in the cycle. I bless you, be, move on in your path. You've served your purpose, and let go, right? And then tune in to your light energy and do an aura upgrade. But you need to do a karmic cord cutting with this, because there was a attachment energy here, and I think you need to cut it, because the portal is open, sweet. Like there is this beautiful gate waiting for you, but you're kind of fearing. It's almost like they planted some crap in your head, and it might be sort of like that subliminal stuff, and you feel that you can't have something nice, but it's right there at the gate. So I'm highly suggesting to you to do those things, because I feel as you do that, some good luck's coming your way. And it's almost like you just got to block it out. Less communication with the person, less you say, the better. You know, if there's some involvement where communication has to be there, short and sweet and to the point and toot, and conversation's over, ain't your mama, right? And you're then disempowering that person. Got to cut it. Short and sweet. I hope that helps. But yeah, as for things moving forward, don't trust the process. I feel some very good energy. You got to own that though. You really need to own it and create that very, very firm boundary, because that gate is opening. They don't want you to move forward. So I would do that, and I think that will go more in your favor relating to your cycle forward. Are you having fun, giggle? Okay, so should we do this now? We'll do this one. What would you like to know as I'm going down the list? Thanks, giggle. Now, I am going to do, for some of you, if you do want a twin flame read, that is private, and you can dive in and we can do maybe a session this month. What I may do is a private link. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put a post up later on today. Wait till it's up. If you can, download the app on the website. And what I'll do is prepare a private streamed link. It will be free. We can have a candid chat in there as an offer. I don't know when I'm doing it yet, but I will get the interest in it first to build. And then from there, we will organise it. And then after the session, we can do super chats, okay? That's okay, Dal. Lady Rena, what would you like to know? Let's see what's coming through for you. And that's more so for those of you that maybe have some really intimate private questions and you don't really want that conversation piece to be open to the public. We can do it that way. You know, because sometimes we need that support. We want to open up and maybe talk about it. And we do have that benefit in the Members Hub where we meet 3 times a month. And I have been jumping in quite a bit, showing them the back scenes of what's going on at YILDIZ readings. But for those of you that maybe need that support, you know, that will be a one-off offer. We'll see how it goes. If it becomes popular, it can become something a little bit more permanent. But we predominantly do that in the Members Hub. What is going on, Lady Arena? Okay, there's something in the mix here, Dale, that is shifting around and changing. And you're having a few challenges at the moment. Are you needing to go somewhere? It almost feels you feel uncertain about what way to go. Are you dealing with a circumstance that is, look, it could be a move of house. It just feels very unsettled at the moment. Has some information come in towards you that has shocked you, or is that what you're directly waiting for or presuming maybe can happen? Overall, the energy around you, yes, I do feel it's positive, but there's something here in the mix that I think it's more your meditation, it's your fear-based frequency is like, especially if things do, you know, they are moving well, and then suddenly you think, okay, is it going to continue on this fashion? I get this vibe that you're trying to be realistic. It's almost this, you know, pattern that we get into. What if something goes wrong? I feel it's a thought process. I do feel you're tired. You also could be ending something though. I kind of feel like you're in a power position to actually end something. I don't think this is ending in relation to a love interest. I feel this is more ending a cycle of some description. It could be leaving a job or something like that, but you're wanting to tie up a loose end, and you're actually probably more assertive at the moment. You might find you're being more assertive than you usually are. Especially when it comes to conflicting people. There is an offer. Whatever you're going through at the moment, look, if this is a direct connection you're already currently dealing with, I feel there's a little bit of a, you know, a bump in the road, but whatever's being shifted around in love in general, I kind of feel it's ending in the Two of Cups, right? But at the moment, it could be that some unhealthy boundaries or unhealthy situations, they are closing out, so that this new beginning can be. Does that make sense? I'm just the news bearer, Dal. Your guides tell me what they want you to know. So the positive is, this is high vibe, right? The positive is you're pulling the tower down. That is a positive. That is where you directly do have power, is that if you feel you need to address something and you move into it, that is your power. And you can say no. As to karmic individuals and people that piss you off, you can actually cut them off. And I do feel it's almost like you're facing situations head on and you say, no, enough is enough. What you are getting out of this is a connection that is ready and made for you. You know what I mean? And this is a contract. This is money coming in. This is relationships that are conducive with you. But you're tired and not putting up with rubbish. Does that make sense? Because that's what's being shown to me here. I do feel the emotion, and that's this, but as an empath, you could be picking it up from other people. There's a little bit of fears coming up, but it's all to do with the time frame. Now, this merely could be fatigue, Dale, and especially because we had the Capricorn moon. perfectly normal for our vibrations to be up and down and funky. But what you're moving into is calmer waters. It's calmer and it's positive. You're going to be a little bit more high vibe, but you're definitely going to get some good things coming your way. So overall, look at it this way. You're moving away from the darkness, and that's a good thing, right? I hope that helps. Look after yourself. Do an aura upgrade and just clear. You can do earthing energy. You can balance your solar plexus and sacral chakra, okay? Jennifer, can you tell me how or when I will find somebody? I will look in the cards, and I'm happy to also, if you want to tell me your sign, I'll look at the cards first. Energy during Juno retrograde is going to be blast from the past coming back. So more than likely, you would find that it will be connections currently. Why am I feeling two energies? Have you gone through a breakup? Why am I feeling two energies here? Who are these two energies? Do you have two paths here? Did you go through a breakup? What is this? It doesn't feel negative. It feels more, how could I put it? Options. But I do feel two. Pisces. That makes sense still. Juno in Pisces. That's why there's options. You've got the Justice card. Okay. Now, I'm feeling two people though. Maybe there's two paths. Maybe it's one you haven't directly come to terms with. Especially those Pisces that are in connections at the moment. You know, it's like, which tower do I pull down? What way do I go? I feel your energy is so light though. I feel it's really light. It's very positive. You're open to new beginnings. Pisces at the moment are feeling, you know, all sorts of funk because of Aries and Chiron getting ready to go retrograde. But the beautiful thing is your movement and boldness and energy is really going to be flying forward. Love-wise, I think this month moving into next is one of those portals. But you're going to have multiple offers. So it probably hasn't really shifted yet. But I can guarantee you as Juno goes retrograde from the 24th, look out, Pisces. That's Venus, okay? That's Venus. You are going to be looked upon as worthy and valued. You're going to be picky and selective. Yes, you could also be, could it bring paranoia? 100%, because we don't want to get the same crap that we've had before. But ultimately, for connections, I feel you're going to be selective. I don't know why I'm seeing it surrounding energy circumstance or maybe a social event at work. And relating to that work sign, I kind of feel there could be somebody that does actually like you. It feels like a social setting. It could be that you're invited to a work presentation or something like that, but I'm feeling a work environment. Yeah, it's asking you to be spontaneous. We broke up, very picky at this point. It's perfectly normal. It's because you've got Aries transiting through your second house, right? So emotionally having the courage to put your foot down. So could it be renegotiated? Yes, it could be. But at the moment, unless something changed and evolved, you wouldn't be interested. You're also really trying to purge those family conditioning things of this is, you know, the cookie cutter of what a connection looks like. You're going to be more bold, more vivacious of what you want. And I feel you're going for gold. Do you know what I mean? So you want something that's really going to work very well with you. Go for gold, Lady Irene. Put it up and I'll get there. But there is a change here, okay? You're not motivated though. You're like, unless you're bringing something to the table. It feels like the Empress. It's like, what have you got to offer me? But I get two individuals that are quite keen. You may be luckier than you think, but I do feel, especially this year, is going to be pretty lucky for you. At the moment, it may not feel it because we're having that Juno retrograde. Does that make sense? It could be online. This could be a past energy, but I'm physically seeing a social setting. So be it is going out with a group of friends, this feels function, okay? So it could be a birthday. It may be an event, but it feels out and it feels with a group of people. I'm like you, Jennifer. I live at home. That's my box. I call it my box. My bubble. But as to social, you are going to be more social, right? You can do, but you want it to naturally, organically come through. And I probably wouldn't at the moment. This month, if it is someone from the past, it will work better for you. If it's a blast from the past that comes back, somebody you already knew, you're going to have more luck in that domain. If you're starting with a new person during a Juno retrograde, you're not going to have much luck till after October the 22nd, okay? So it's probably safer to deal with the psychological healing, maybe re-navigating your life so you can have out time, but also to look at it more from, if you do actually deal with romance at this point, maybe deal with it without the attachment of, is this going to end up down the aisle? Wait till October 22nd to see, you know, how that plays out, and you're probably going to be safer that way. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, but I mean, we need to get out sometimes, man. You know, we need to be less Rapunzel. Come on, you're going to meet me halfway. Yeah, it's connecting to, I mean, we haven't because of the transits in Cancer as well. And now it's kind of calling for that balance with Capricorn. So I hope that helps, but I do feel, I'm feeling two individuals. And so they're in your ethers, which means, and I do feel it's this year too. So there is two individuals that's there that are quite positive. Okay. I hope that helps. So where am I at, Jennifer? So usually it's per question. I'll do this as a last one off for Lady Irene, but generally each question is the thing, no problem. Okay, so are you asking about money? Money comes after I meet that man. More than likely, I think the money energy is going to come directly from you, Dal, especially from the way the cards were coming out. I feel it's more on your side of the fence, and I feel it's more joint processes. Let's see. I'll pull a card. Any other super chats? You're running out of time. Giggle's closing it down. Yes, I do personal readings. I've got a sale on at the moment too. Yes, there is lots of money, but money don't buy love. It does look as though it will improve. There is, but I feel it's through your own hands, Lady Rena. I do. I feel it's through your art or your craft or what you're doing, and I think it's you jointly. Yes, I do. But this could be a winning of some description. You got the money there, but you also want the happiness too. And I actually do feel, you know, it will be a mutual kind of situation, contract or partnership or other. Okay. Thank you all. Really appreciate you guys for joining. Come through and join us in the Members Hub if you wish to. Otherwise, I'll see you all online. Any questions, feel free to put your comments up of how this video directly related to you and what went down in your twin flame path this week. Take care.